Good morning, good morning, and good morning. I've got my mug ready to go. I hope all of you guys do too. It is the Tour of Love Sunday morning show, and we already have one of our favorites with us, Barbara Beckley. So glad you are here. I want to welcome my co-host, Poe, also known as one of our board of directors for the nonprofit that this show does support, and that is cb4l.org, Chemo Buddies for Life.org. And we have one of our sponsors of the Tour of Love big event, and one of our buddies, one of our contributors that comes into our group and shares and gives and shares the love so much, LaWanna Bradford. Welcome today, LaWanna.
Thank you. Good morning, Tamara. Good morning, Poe.
Good morning. Glad you're
Let's
here.
recognize everybody else that's here, and we've got Carol Brown-Berzins, normally one of our co-hosts. However, she's a little under the weather today, so she is going to be in the comments. We want sending you healing vibes and love to you, Carol Brown-Berzins. She did check. We are live on the E360 TV platform. That means we are streaming live worldwide. You guys can be watching us on a variety of different platforms. If you have questions, go to your phone, go to the App Store, and get the E360 TV app. We are in the positive vibration area. You can watch us there, and there's a lot of other wonderful areas that, yes, I love that. Hello, wonderfuls. So I would love for us to share who it is that we have with us, LaWanna Bradford. You are an interesting woman doing so many things. You call yourself a serial entrepreneur. What does that mean?
A serial entrepreneur is a person who lives in the seed of creativity and innovation, always looking to be a catalyst of change for the world. And I've been doing it for 30 years. So creating business opportunities, as well as jobs, touching both big and small business communities and families.
I love it. Yes. Amazing. Yes. And you have a couple of different businesses, and you also started a movement, and we're going to get into that. And in fact, let's start there, really,
Sure.
Because that's an interesting story how that all happened, right?
Yes. So the movement is called Celebrate You, Women Embracing Wellness. And it actually started because my company, the Bradford Group, we wanted to sponsor 5 women in business and showcase them in a unique way so that they could get their message out. So we created a retreat for these 5 businesses. And we had a Facebook page that we created just to be a centralized place where people could get information about the upcoming retreat and communicate with one another. Well, Barbara Beckley, who is a member of CB4L community, mentioned, LaWanna, do you realize people are joining this page? And I'm like, why? It's an information resource for a one-time event. What is going on? And when I looked at the page, I thought, oh my gosh. So I guess what we were presenting, the positive energy, the way we were presenting it, the focus on helping and truly celebrating was, I think, a very unique message at that time. Mm-hmm. And now in 18 months, we grew from literally 2 people. Now we are 5 away from being at 800.
Congratulations. That is exciting. And you really do celebrate you. You celebrate your members. You celebrate your leadership. You celebrate women in general. You celebrate so much. And why don't we talk about that?
Sure. One of the things we realize is that when we're looking at change within our families, women are that cornerstone of influence. But it's really hard to propel your family forward when you're at a place of brokenness, or you're not able to just accept who you are and that divine genius that's within each of us that I believe we all have. And so this is about saying it doesn't matter what you've been through. learn how to forgive yourself, learn how to truly love who you are, and tap into that divine guidance, because we are all equipped here to do a special thing that no one else can do, to influence and touch lives that no one else can influence and touch. And when you can rest in that and allow that to resonate, to me, that becomes the heartbeat of life and the energy of life. And despite the ash and trash that can come, because you and I know, we're going through our trials right now, but you're able to rise up because there's a greater joy that's before you. And it feels so good to pour from a cup that is filled rather than from a cup that is empty. So that's what.
And you, this Tour of Love supports cb4l.org. And of course, so many others, because of who it is that we touch. Basically, everybody in the world qualifies for someone that might end up being a buddy. And you understand that as much as anybody else, right?
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? And I'm sure that Poe's going to want to share a little bit too, because Poe understands it too.
Sure. Almost 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with lymphoma. Just came from left. I didn't expect that diagnosis, and with that, I had, and I shared this with you before, I didn't know what it was because it's a rare form that I do have. And I remember talking to someone, and he said, LaWanna, well, you only have two choices. And I got really angry. I said, what do you mean I have two choices? I'm trying to figure this out. You are Dr. Guru. And he said, no, you have two choices. You can either choose to die living or to live dying.
Ooh.
And I sat in that. And that literally that was one bookend. But then 2 days later, I happened to be flipping through the TV because I wasn't able to sleep well. And I saw it. I've never seen it again. A minister was on, and he simply said, there's been some of you that have been diagnosed with cancer. And I was like, oh, okay, what did he got to say? And he said, but don't lose hope or faith. He said, it's only that man's medicine hasn't caught up with God's miracles. So those have been the bookends of this journey. And so many people are shocked to even know that I am in the fight, because they're like, well, LaWanna, you don't talk about it. Well, I talk about it when it needs to come up, but I'm so busy living that I can't focus on something that could end up crippling me because of it's causing, my mindset to be, crippled with negative energy. I can't go there. I realize it's there, but it's like, okay, this is my mountain, and I'm going to climb it with dignity and with grace and take one moment.
Exactly. And I love this. We've been talking a lot about it in the closed group. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. However, we've been talking a lot about mindset and how right now we're at the beginning of a year still. We're technically still the last day of the first month of 2021. And, vision, intention, mindset, and everything that you're talking about right now translates into what you've been doing in the Celebrate You group. And I love it too, because you'll do things like every day you'll do Happy Friday. I just grabbed a couple of them. Happy Friday. And then, Celebrate You, celebrate life. And then, loving Cicely Tyson, who didn't just adore this woman, right? Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. Love that. Then you have Celebrate You, Sharing Saturday. It's time to promote. So then you're encouraging that entrepreneurship, that, bring it to there. Let's support each other. Let's be there for each other. And then you've got a big event coming up, don't you?
Yes, I do. And that's our Celebrate You Woman of the Year. These are Women of the Month from 2020. We with the pandemic around April, I realized there were some women in our community that were really, I felt, going above and beyond and encouraging individuals, not only within the Celebrate You community, but outside, looking at a way of how they could be even more impactful despite the effects of the pandemic. And so we decided, Barbara and I and the other two co-founders decided to create a Celebrate You Woman of the Month. Well, this went on through December, and I thought, you know what? We've just celebrated 9 women. Well, we've got to have a Woman of the Year. Yeah. And so February 6th at from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern time, we are doing the Celebrate You Woman of the Year virtual gala. And it's literally glam up from the waist up. So we are just real excited. We've got a 2-time Emmy Award winning artist, Tony Saunders, who's a jazz bassist, who will be performing. We've got a lot of great and powerful men, because I believe there is something magical that happens when men can pause and lift up a woman. This is going to be very different. Women are celebrating each other, but we are intentionally bringing men to spotlight us and lift us up and applaud all that has been done in 2020.
I love it. In fact, I'm going to share a video right now, and then I want to hear from Pupo. I want to hear from the man on this panel here today and see what you're thinking. Okay, here, let's do this. Oh.
First of all, I don't know where to start. I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about, and first is honor what you do and what you're doing for women, especially, before we came on live, we were talking about your professional background of business management, consulting, and real estate, and which was a big shift to a intention. Yeah, you used a term that I loved, divine guidance, and for me that represents really listening. Tamara put up that thing, mindset, changing. It's almost really, for me, it's more like heart set or soul set of listening to that in divine guidance of intention, and what does that tell you and inspire you to do on this earth for other people. And I just want to honor that. And I love the women, really the Celebrate You, and the men supporting that, from my point of view, is so critical of empowering women. I always loved, I was very active in working with various cancer causes, and of course the Susan G. Komen and the Race for the Cure, where all the women ran, and the men were there on the sideline cheering them on. And I, as a film director, producer, I did a lot of work, and I thought, this is so beautiful to see this in our society of cheering and lifting each other up, especially when it comes to a cause. And again, it's the heart and the soul part of that. And I laughed. I didn't, when you said what the doctor told you, because I'm a cancer survivor as of 10 and a half years. God, this June will be 11 years. And I was 1,200 miles away from family, very alone in Sedona, Arizona, and was told I had cancer and needed a couple of emergency surgeries, and prognosis wasn't good. And then the doctor told me what he thought were my only 2 choices. And they were, I would have much rather heard what you were told, but mine were like, you have to do the treatment that I prescribe for you, or your odds are not even going to be that good. And I'm like, of course, my reaction is, I don't like being told that. I don't care what their profession or who they think they are. I want to, this is my body, this is my life, this is the power of me, and to overcome this, and rather than to give in to whatever is, just like, okay, this is what we do. I started asking questions, which that really aggravated my doctor because I said, are there other options? Or, he goes, I'm your doctor. I went to med school. I'm telling you what you need to do. I said, well, what about nutrition or the power of prayer or community like Chemo Buddies, which I wish existed? And he says, he looked like a deer in the headlights. He didn't know what I was asking him. And he says, the first place to start is what I'm saying. Well, I looked at other options and I took another option. And I'm cancer free. I'm great. I'm healthy. I'm happy. But it's the power within each of us. We have people in this community that have had stage 4 cancer and it's disappeared, whether it's a number of different things. But I'll tell you, as Tamara's doctor said in her video about how powerful uh, you know kind of co-support when she went to chemotherapy and changing that vibration, and why this whole tour of love is so important. So this whole celebrate you is, man, you talk about high vibration and high, love is way up that meter. We use this a lot, and people right now are in a lot of fear. When I was told I had cancer and the odds weren't good, it was easy to go into a lot of those low vibrations of fear, and certainly even down, of grief and apathy, like I don't care about living anymore, or even guilt of shame to tell it. I was way down there. And I thought, I have to shift this. I have to flip this. And I had to do it one step at a time. And how do I raise up that ladder? And I became angry at it. And I think I heard you say, you get that fire burning, and that fire burning leads to, moving up there to courage and willingness and really, the rational reason of that I have a lot of power within me, and then to that love and even higher. So, yeah, you really hit a nerve, and as Barbara said earlier, that I love is you go from being a victim to a cancer conqueror.
Yes.
So I applaud, and again, the shift for you to be inspired. I mean, obviously, yeah, there she is. The shift for you to become in this, because I'm sure your career has kept you plenty busy enough without doing this, to celebrate you and that one event, which I'm sure you had, sounded like you had no intention or idea of what it was going to turn into, and this is just the start. So that catalyst for even doing that first event and the importance of that with what you were going through personally, and the decision to go from your paradigm of career to, I want to do this. What was that about?
It came from, I believe that God speaks to us either directly or through people or situations. And Barbara pulled me aside and she called the Celebrate You a movement. And I for a moment, I said, a movement, do you understand what movements mean? She goes, that's what I see. And I couldn't see it. I really couldn't. And so I prayed and I said, God, I'm trusting her eyes right now. And you've caused me to be the lead of this vehicle, whatever it's going to be. And I think for me, I've just rested in that. And every step, every day, I find the more I lean into that, the more creativity and ideas are flowing, to the point that Barbara's like, stop, I'm out. Not another idea.
I laugh. I have to laugh, and I know Tamara's know why I'm laughing, because Barbara has started many a movement with holding up a little sign or saying a phrase like, "Oh my God," and right, Tamara. I mean, she has started so many things, including a song. I mean, she held up a card, said, "I can, we will," and I thought, "Oh my God, that's a song." So, she's got a knack for doing that.
Yes, definitely. I think, we all have those spiritual gifts, and I do believe that she has a gift of insight and discernment. And so I trust that. And I'm so grateful for the partnership and the sisterhood that we have. And this has just been a fun journey. And through her, I'm meeting people like you, and Tamara, and so many other amazing people around the world.
You want to comment on that, Tamara? I mean, has Barbara had a few influences?
apologize if you guys hear a little bit of noise. There's some workers that came, of course, right when we're having a show right now, right outside the window. So I'm glad I've been trying to save you guys from that. So I do want to recognize that we've got many people here with us, and Christopher is one of our leaders, and we're going to be talking about you in it just a little bit, Christopher. And yes, I want to say that everything that you're talking about is so absolutely true in the fact that, number one, celebrate you. So needed. It is truly a movement. And with your financial background, your business sense, your entrepreneur abilities, everything you've got going on, you can help so many people. And right now, in this period of time where people are shut in and they're wondering, okay, I just lost my job because people can't go there. What do I do? I've got this time. How do I spin this? How do I flip it, as Barbara would say? And you and the organization, I love the fact that you have different people that have that entrepreneurial background, that has that financial sense, that has that ability to say, all right, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. In fact, it might be perfect timing for you to do what you're really meant to do and celebrate you and do it through that wellness, in a wellness frame of mind, in that mindset, and with the intention going forward in a really positive light. And you know what you're talking about, because when you've been through something like all three of us, hearing that diagnosis, a chapter in our life, however long that chapter is, it is a chapter of a book of life. And we can make those choices. And Poe had mentioned my doctor. And for those of you that may not know what he's talking about, I want to bring this clip up. And it actually features Barbara Beckley in it, too. So we're going to get to see her. I love it. Whenever I watch this, it always gets me so riled up and excited. And then we're going to come back and continue talking.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Chemo Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for life.
And if you've heard three words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for life.
Healing through connections.
And I want to say thank you to Poe. He's the one that actually created that video, and he actually created a new one. However, it didn't have the doctor in it, so I didn't share it. I was going to share it. I had it queued up, but since you mentioned my doctor, it's my doctor. My doctor is cool. Let me just tell you, and very with it. And I'm in the Southern California area, guys, and I was really lucky when I heard those three words that I could go anywhere, because at the time that was the kind of insurance I had. And so I did a lot of due diligence. I seriously did. And I looked for, I really wanted to be able to work and collaborate with my medical team. And I found a medical team that thought really outside of the box, and I did the research, and the lead doctor that started it, a dual citizen out of Australia and the United States, and so had a real global approach of healing, and was open to adjunctive healing and things like mindset, things like what we're talking about right now. So very important. And one of those things also, as I'm thinking about all of this, is what you're doing in the group right now. And you've come into our closed group, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit, on Success Saturdays, of which we just had last night. And Barbara Buckley leads every Saturday night in our closed group, Success Saturday. And last night's subject was commitment. And you've come in, you've shared, and then you were on the Tour of Love big event, the 36-hour streaming live event, and you were one of our sponsors with your professional company, the Bradford Group, right? Bradford.
Correct.
And I want to share a little clip from that about the Bradford Group and go into it a little bit right now, because part of the stressors are things that we need to just get rid of. Mindset, vision, intention, and part of it can be finances. Part of it can be our roof over our house, that our home. Part of it can be I just don't know. I know I don't know, and I don't know where to turn. So let's go into that. I'm going to share this clip, and then we're going to talk for a little bit. So when you were on, and I'm really glad that you're back at the beginning of the year right now, because, and especially, it was interesting last night, I was seeing all sorts of news articles about this very subject, about, projections for 2021 and 2022 even, of the housing market. What's going to happen? COVID's hit, and the supply has been limited and housing prices have gone up and yada, yada, yada. Yet we need to know certain things that you actually teach that I had never heard about until you were on the 36-hour event. And I wanted to get a little deeper into it. So let's talk about that.
Sure. Well, one of the things with, just like we take our annual physical, when you have your finances, there should be an annual review of where you stand. And there is a thing called a mortgage wellness checkup. And most people don't know about it. Your lenders aren't talking about it, but it's a real thing. And with your mortgage checkup, it looks at if you still owe on your home. It looks at that landscape. What does it mean in the current environment? Where are you currently financially? Are you upside down in your home, meaning your home is worth? Are your payments higher than they need to be right now because you have had a loss in income? How can you reposition yourself to secure your financial security and not lose your home? What are the options that are out there? And if you're looking at restructuring your loan, it's not just getting a reduced loan for the sake of getting a reduced loan, but looking at how long you want to have it, because some people are looking at it for that moment in time. But when you're saying, well, I'm going to retire in 5 years and you just got a 30-year note, there needs to be another conversation too, because with that retirement income, which is typically less than when we're working full time, are you still going to be able to maintain that home, or do you put it at risk? So those are the conversations that this mortgage wellness checkup helps that homeowner engage in and make the best decision for them, because now they're making a decision from a state of being informed rather than reacting. And even showing people how to save your home by asking the right questions, requesting certain guidelines to be implemented for you from your lender. So most people don't know where to go, how to start, how to even have the conversation, what language to use, and they get fearful. We talked about that when you looked at that cone. And fear causes us to sometimes become petrified. We just become immobilized. We don't do anything And that's the worst thing to do, especially with your finances. You don't want to be homeless. And one of the things, if I may share this quickly, we have been in business for 15 years. Our mortgage company went through the 2007, 2008 mortgage crisis when banks and our fellow mortgage brokers were closing their doors left and right. And we survived. But I also, as a homeowner, because my income was suddenly, stopped because banks weren't lending, I was at risk of losing my home, but I didn't. So I share that to say there is a story in that journey and knowing how to survive economic hardships, which we're now facing. And so I encourage people, when you're looking for guidance, looking for education, talk to the experts who have been through something similar, not someone who has an idea of what it may be like, but know what it's like to know that, oh my God, I've got 2 missed payments. What does that mean to me? Or I can no longer do a loan because banks aren't lending. Now what? So our goal is to help allay concerns and to show what we can do and how to navigate through the turbulent times.
Oh, what do you? I see your face going all over the place. Okay.
Yep.
Let's hear from you.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Well, and going through these turbulent times and just the level of fear, like she talked about. I mean, it's easier for people, especially as you're around more and more people who, oh my God, did you see this? Oh, did you hear about this? Oh, Lord, this is, and pretty soon you're surrounded by that energy, and through what you're doing, LaWanna, and both professionally and in this intention of life, a purpose with Celebrate You, those are empowering people to get out of that low, fear mode. And it's, what was, so funny because I laughed. I saw a thing of how it can be infectious. I mean, I'm sure, and I guess one of the things I'd like to hear from you is, when you did this event with Barbara, and it was going to be an event, and people show up, okay, great, now back to work. No, you started, as Barbara said, a movement, which she's good at starting and inspiring people to do. And she's got that gift for sure. In the smallest words, or just hinting, it becomes this massive movement. But with what you did, I can only imagine that people that came, you were probably even surprised, perhaps, at it became a movement, and that people were inspiring each other, and that energy was contagious. It's like I saw a study. It was probably done back in the 70s or something, and of how they showed people at different like outdoor concerts, and they planted one goofball, which I would have volunteered for that one, would have been to just stand up and start dancing uncontrollably, just having a great time dancing up and down, and of course everybody's looking going, what is wrong with that guy? Or is he on his medication or hadn't had it, and then all of a sudden one other person kind of thought, I want to join in, and they joined in. And then a second and a third and a fifth, and pretty soon everybody was up dancing. Yeah, because of that one goofball that did something that inspired and really shifted the frequency of what was happening. You're doing that professionally. You're doing it in this Celebrate You. When you saw that first event, did you see that flame being passed and it started growing? And now you've said you've got like 800 members and people. It's growing. What does that look like? Does that relate to what you witnessed?
Yes, I think because our event was a live event at that time, so being able to see and feel the energy of the women in the room was one thing. But the amazing thing, and this is where I see just divine intervention, is translating live energy onto a virtual platform. And it made me realize, and to anyone listening, energy is energy. It transcends everything. Yeah. And to have that same feeling resonate virtually, to me, is the wow factor. And also realizing that collectively we're stronger. So yeah, my voice may be the one that's echoing over and over again the message, but it's people catching hold of that vision, embodying it, and then in their own unique ways, bringing forward their messages of change, of hope, of encouragement. And that's what our platform allows. It allows people to be free and expressing themselves, expressing their truth, sharing, because it's not about, one thing I hate or where you're in groups and it's just nothing, and never endless ads, right? Everybody's promoting me, promoting me. So imagine a real forum where you're live and someone's walking into to a group and they're showing you their their banners and their ads and always talking about their business. That would be a turnoff. That's not attractive, right? So why would you do that on a virtual platform?
Beautiful.
Exactly. And, and this event that you are celebrating these amazing women, of which I have to say shamelessly or with pride, either one of the two, because, well, many of them have been service heroes on the Service Heroes show. However, one of them, Misty Lane, is the vice president of cb4l.org. So we need to claim her as one of our own and say, yay, way to go, Misty Lane. Of course, yeah. Dare to Share show and hashtag be that one. And so, and many of the others have been celebrated on the show for the service that they give others, or they will be on. And so right now, the show, this event, from the waist up, glam
Yes.
event.
Yes.
It hasn't taken place yet, and there's still tickets for this, right?
Yes, there's still tickets. The event is February next Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, it's a virtual event, and as Tamara said, glam up from the waist up. So it is a gala, so we want you to get in the energy of that. And the one thing I love about this is it's all about giving back. So 100% of the proceeds, the tickets are only $10. You can find them on Eventbrite or on our page, Celebrate You Women for Wellness. Click on the event section and you can register there. But all the tickets go to a charity, which is Help Heal Humanity. And Help Heal Humanity is an international charity that's designed to help our most vulnerable population, which are our children. So they help supply them with food, with school supplies, with education, as well as helping teach them life skills and working with the families to build that community. So we're just so excited that this event is sponsoring something that's going to not only touch the world internationally, but we are changing the next generation.
I love it. I love it. And I'll be there. I've got my ticket, so I'm excited. I'm excited to support it and be there and to, do the woo, woo, woo thing for the evening, of course, in a glam way. So, and you touched on a lot of different things in the discussion between the two of you. And I want to say thank you for that because, one of the things about having groups and the fact that right now, virtually, we're starting to realize that it may not be exactly what we want because we're still not getting that, if you're a hugger, of course you can do the virtual hug thing like this and such, but there's a little bit of a translation. Yeah, energy is energy. And I love that. It's so true. It's absolutely true. And you mentioned, Poe, that, we've seen miracles in our group, and LaWanna, you've been in there, what we're doing. And I do want to take a moment to share that on this show, every Sunday, we're going to start highlighting what it is that we're doing in the group this coming week. And so those people that are thinking, oh, what is this all about? And, I am feeling isolated and alone. And I have either heard those three words, you have cancer, for myself or for someone that I know and love. And we want to encourage all of you to come in because we are absolutely feeling. And I will say there's in that group, there's no sales. Yes, I love the way that you had brought that up. That's one of the rules. And what takes place there stays there. That's why we have a public show now, because we were having so much success. We thought we better take this out to the world to say, hey, guys, you know what? We're actually making a difference, and we are healing through connection and taking it out. Tour of Love, of which, yes, Miss Dear Barbara Beckley and Brooke Curran had a lot to do with the whole Tour of Love name and the images and all of it, which I absolutely love. So we have a little tiny little video presentation about what it is that we do daily, and then I'm just going to give a quick rundown of what's coming up this week. Wrong one. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Yeah, I'm running the stage. Uh-oh. Here we go. So every night at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, we get together. Last week we did movie night. That was a lot of fun. Tonight we're going to it's like, Sunday night, family night, fun night. Tonight is going to be Brooke Curran and our junior ambassador, Jack, and Jack will have Jack jokes. So you guys will not want to miss that. And then on Monday, we're going to continue our Talk Vision 2021. And we have Erin Houchin coming in that she helped last year, 2020 vision, and she did a vision board. We're going to talk about how she did a vision board, and she put some stuff in there that she was like, yeah, well, I'm putting it out there. She really didn't know if it would come true. It came true. We're going to talk about that. We have it on camera, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about vision 2021, intention, and mindset. Then we're going to continue on Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about healing through art. Christopher Kaysen has some stuff coming up that we're going to be very excited to announce on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we've got Cheryl Meyer coming back, and I actually have a prop for this one. I'm going to share this because this is kind of a big deal, guys. You guys have these old family recipes, that have been handed down from generation to generation. This was my grandmother's, and in this one, there is my great-grandmother's recipes and her handwriting in there too. Yet when I look at the recipes, I'm thinking, ooh, I don't know if I want to make that with today, because now we know a little bit different stuff about health and wellness and everything. Well, Cheryl Meyer, the same one that wrote 2 volumes of Feeling Good, It Feels Good to Feel Good. She knows how to switch many of those ingredients that are no longer healthy into things that are healthy choices, and still the recipes are going to feel like a family recipe. So that should be a lot of fun. Thankful Thursday, Carol is over Thankful Thursdays. Always a wonderful evening. Open mic night, one of our favorites. And then it all wraps up again with Barbara Beckley with Success Saturdays. And for some reason, I didn't get the image up for Barbara, but Barbara's here. So, and if you want to say anything about what you're doing this next time, yes, love the vision board. There she is. And Sunday Fun Day. Yes. So please, we all get together Sunday or every evening at Facebook. It is in Facebook for right now. Eventually, we're going to take it off the platform, but right now it is in a closed group. So if you haven't joined us yet, join us, and we'll look forward to it. You go to Chemo Buddies for Life Community. Chemo Buddies for Life Community. Ask to join, and there you go. That's this next week's activities. what do you got to say about that, Poe? You both have been in the community, and you both have experienced those 3 words. What would you say about what we're doing?
Well, I mean, I've been there since before you started the nonprofit. I was actually before I started my nonprofit,
Yeah.
Amplifying Truth, which is about trying to empower and show people on the front line using, film and music and things I've gained in my career, and use it for something good as an intention, or as, that divine guidance kind of led me toward that. And Tamara was just starting the idea, and I was part of a group of nonprofits, or wannabe nonprofits, and being a cancer conqueror, I won't say survivor, conqueror. I resonated with her mission totally. I thought, oh my God, that would have been so important had I had it. And so, with the community of this closed group, and seeing what has happened over the past, several years, over 3, I don't know, when's 4, we'll be saying 4 years before too long,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, nearly 4 years now. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
So,
I
and,
know.
and seeing the people and the reach and the difference it's made, and then bringing in and spinning off Service Heroes and the Tour of Love, and seeing that ripple effect grow and grow and grow, as you were describing, LaWanda. It's very powerful in a time where, there's so much uncertainty, and a lot of paradigms are we feel the ground shaking almost below us. But what we have is something that is unstoppable, invincible, and that is the power of each of us. And the best we can do with our own personal intent. I love that energy is energy, whether it's virtual, whatever. Everything is energy. We know that. And, so if we can tap into that divine guidance, and pick our vibe, really hold on and embrace that vibe, and funnel our intention, and really change the world by being that famous quote, be the change you want to see in the world, or be the intention you want to see in the world. There's power beyond power behind that energy, right?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And,
Um, what I want to do right now is, Poe, you're saying a song that was created for the Tour of Love event with Juju Christopher. It talks about everything we're talking about right now, and the healing power of the frequency of the key that was even used in the song, and the energy. I'm going to play this. It's not very long clip, but it's beautiful, and it's about being stronger together. It's about movement, creating a movement in many, many ways. So let's do that, and then we'll finish up our thoughts after.
Together we are stronger than sadness. Together we are stronger than cancer. Together we are stronger. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. Human hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Human hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Human hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Human hope, hearts, hearts, love. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are one, We are love, we are hope, we are the ones who change the world with our hearts. We are the ones that change the world with our hearts.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Well, thanks,
Beautiful.
Juju. There's a big production of that was beautiful, and Juju reached out to me and said, would you sing this with me and just do a soft version, a real short version of it? And it's, because there were so many voices and it was very exciting. She said, and let's tune our guitars to 4-3-2. I said, oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Which is instead of 4-4-4, which is a more disruptive frequency of typical music. Once upon a time, it was 4-3-2. And so I thought, yeah, I get it. I'm with you. And then she was in her house in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was in my little cabin in Mountain View, Arkansas. And it was the day before the 36-hour thing kicked off. I said, really? We're going to do it live? I said, okay, let's do it. And so it turned out fine. But I'm honored to be a part of this and be with you in this, LaWanna. So bless you for all you're doing, and I look forward to tapping in and seeing everything that's coming. Which you've got an exciting future. I'm sure you can't even. You never know you're making history when you're making it. You're making history. So there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very much so. And you were mentioning the numbers, and you mentioned this disruptive one, but the 4-3-2, right? That's a healing power, right? It's the healing frequency within the music. And that's what I love about it also.
Yeah, if you listen to certain things, Bob Marley, a lot of things, some of their songs were tuned into 4-3-2, and there's other musicians that resonate in that if you just take that vibration of a note, and you see a lot of tests done with just creating that zzz, that hum of that vibration, either 4-4-0 or 4-3-2, and you see people put on these metal plates of salt, just a pile of salt, and then they turn that vibration on. You see the disruptive pattern of 4-4-0 frequency, but then you switch it to 4-3-2, and it turns into a beautiful snowflake. And actually, Dr. Emoto did a whole thing with water frozen crystals that look like snowflakes, and played different vibrations, and the frozen water frequency shifted either into a mob that looks very toxic. I mean, it looks like a cancer cell or something, to turning it into a good high vibration of love or 4-3-2, and it turns into an elaborate, beautiful snowflake if you look at those close up. So there's power, and if energy is energy, and if everything is energy, well, and including everything within our body, then we have a lot of power for ourselves, to heal another person, and as a community of people that heal, we can heal the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what I love about this. And I love the fact that all of us are working unitedly to get out there and supporting each other in this. And what you are doing, and that's why I'm so excited to glam up from the waist up. There you go.
Yes.
Glam up from the waist up. Yes.
Right there. There's Misty right at the end. There's our Misty right there.
There's our Misty Lane. Yes, our vice president of the organization, and many other amazing women, of which, yes, I've either interviewed or will yet still interview as service heroes for the work that they're doing for the world, because that's what we need to be doing. We need to be celebrating you. What a beautiful name for what you are doing, LaWanna. Thank you for being a co-creator of something that is so needed right now. What would you like to leave everybody with right now? A pearl of wisdom, a thought?
I think the thing that I'd like to leave everyone is life is happening right now.
Yes.
And we are in total control of our now. So we can't focus on what's already happened because that's gone. We can't worry about what's going to come because we don't even know if we may see that happen. But what we do know is the now. So I just encourage everyone to just love the now, celebrate you, and just be thankful for the breath and life that you have now.
I love it. Poe, what would you like to leave everybody with this week?
I want to ditto everything she said. Totally. I mean, that power of now and the power of you. If you look at it like a boat, and you're in a boat, and the wake of the boat has nothing to do with where you're going. It's the past, as she said. And the future is undetermined as to where the boat's going in the direction. What is in effect here and in power is the you. You, the engine, you, the steering wheel, you, the throttle of what you're doing in the current moment determines, where that boat and where that destiny is. And I'd like to get out of the word fate, because fate is if you just close your eyes and don't do anything. The fate is you're going to run into that big rock and shore. Your destiny is I am taking this and I am navigating these waters, and I am on a journey of my life right now and being present. So I underscore that, be present and be in the now. So love that.
And thank you for reminding me, Helene, that we are still always looking for your purple pin. We are, and we will forever be on the purple pin journey. And I want to also, just piggyback off of both of you and say I love the word celebrate. Celebrate. That's a part of Service Heroes. Celebrate success through service. Celebrate. We need to celebrate the fact that we wake up. We need to celebrate we're here, right here in this moment. We need to celebrate that we're looking at each other. We are looking at each other. We may not be in the same room, but I'm celebrating it because my body is not going to remember if I was in the same room today or not, because I'm celebrating the fact that we were engineered in such a beautiful way for today. And so the celebration of you, the celebration of today, the celebration of the now. I'm celebrating with both of you. In fact, I'm going to do it with there you go. All right. We're going to end the show now, guys. And if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, please remember that this is going to be a glam up from the waist up event. Next week, I'll be there. We'll be celebrating these amazing women, and you can be celebrating you too as we get together and have some fun. Thank you for joining us today on the Tour of Love show, Sunday show. Next week, remember to have your mug ready to go. And if you haven't gotten a new mug, you can always support us at the store. We have one. It is cb4l.store. It's that easy. cb4l.store. And if you haven't gone there to check it out yet, to get your favorite mug, I know both of you have. Thank you for supporting the store. Go find one. You'll be glad you did. This one even has hearts for Valentine. Okay. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Thank you. Much love. Much love.